Sam, you need to be more excited.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go. This is the DV Sports and Gaming Podcast. I am Junior Camacho, a.k.a. DV Macho. We got Paul, also known as DV Socks.
Gang.
We got Sam, a.k.a. DV/C. Let's get nasty. All right, let's get lit, y'all. Let's get lit. Let's get lit, y'all. Let's get lit. Let's get lit, y'all. Let's get lit. Come on, Paul. Let's get lit.
That's all we got.
That was lit. All right, we're lit. We're lit. All right, guys, this is our first interview episode. We got a person with us today who we genuinely enjoy. And, we're here for the interview. We want to interview. Jesus Christ, I've had too much coffee. We want to interview streamers and content creators, introduce them to you, let them get more comfortable with their followers, get more comfortable with who they are, and let people learn what they do that is successful and what is not so successful, and the things they're curious about to help them grow their, their platform. So today, who we have is DV Bean, also known as Sabrina Camacho. Give it up.
Woo. Let's go. Raise the roof. No.
If you want. Hello, Bean.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I feel like this is going to be very intense.
It's going to be fun.
All right. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, if you want to just kind of give a brief introduction, let us know who you are, where you game, maybe your social medias really quick, and then we're going to go right into the questions with you.
Okay, you just labeled off a lot of things. So who am I? I am Sabrina. You said Camacho, but I'm actually Cheese Man now.
Damn. Oh.
Ouch. Damn.
Sorry. I left you guys behind. It's in the past now. My past family. But, I'm DV Bean. You guys made me change my name a long time ago.
Let's go.
So
you earned it.
That's kind of, I get bullied into everything, just like you guys kind of got me into gaming too. So my social media, I got TikTok, and that's going to be dvbean.bina, B-I-N-A. I just set up an Instagram, so there's like hardly any videos, but it's DV Bean Gamer Mom, because I am a mom. And then I have Facebook, just a profile called DV Bean. I initially had a page, but I was like, oh man, this is too much work for one person, so I'm not going to do that right now. And then was that it? Introduce myself, and it's like my name and my social media.
Where do you game?
Where do I game? I game on Xbox, and that's pretty much it. Although I kind of want to get into a Steam game, but we don't have to talk about that right now.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good general introduction.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and get us going. So my first question for you, Bean, is where are you from and what's your general background? So career-wise, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so I'm obviously from San Antonio. I'm from San Antonio, like all of you.
So obvious.
We're obviously born in the same.
Yeah, this place
city.
sucks.
Oh my God! Stop. We're all born in the same city, and I'm currently a student full time at Texas State University. Woo! Yeah, Texas State.
Go Jags or
Leopards. Go Leopards.
Bobcats. Yeah, there we go. It's a baby
some
lion.
kind of cat. One of them cats.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a bobcat running around over here.
And so I'm a student. I'm a mom, and I'm married. What else? So I have a toddler. I'm a veteran.
Yeah, there we go. I was going to ask that question.
I know. I was like, there's something else. There's something else.
What branch?
So I was in the Navy for 4 years, and I had my son my last year
In the
in.
Navy.
So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. I can't go to sea. My baby needs me. So
Yeah.
now
Tired
I'm
of being a
pursuing
seaman, huh?
school. I actually did have that rank. But that's besides the point. I left at second class petty officer. So E5.
That was petty of you.
Oh
that's
god,
great.
these dad jokes coming out of
That
left
was
and right
great.
field.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty good. Kind of got a little bit about you and where you came from, and now I want to get a little bit into the gaming. What got you into gaming, and when did it like develop into you making social medias and content?
So you guys got me into gaming.
How
If I'm
so?
going to be 100% honest, I think that the first time I ever remember you guys pressuring me into gaming was Sam being so aggressively like, play with us, Pete, you gotta play with us this game, which he still does to this
Let's go.
day. Literally, I was playing a game today and he was like, dude, come play Smite with us. Pete,
That
come
was
play
Smite earlier.
And then we got
The
wrecked
amount
and
of
changed it.
smite pressure you
And-
get from Sam is unbearable.
And so I think that's where it started, right? Because I remember, like, up until I think it was like age 15, where it was like he would constantly ask me, like, all the time. And I know it was like all of you, but I specifically remember Sam always being like super aggressive, like, dude, come play, come play.
You
And
hear that, DV being TikTok followers? You're welcome.
I finally gave in, and I was like, you know what? Let me just try. And then I think that's where the serious gaming started with Call of Duty. That's where I like actually started gaming. Because I know I played like Tetris and all those other games, but like when you
Golly.
really get into it, it started with COD, and that's where Sam started pressuring me. So when I was like 15.
That's when you became DV Bean.
Well, I mean,
Nice.
I had a
Well,
bunch
I'm
of
glad
other
to hear
names, but yeah, I've always been DVD deep down. Deep down.
Well, I have a question for you, and it kind of links to that one, like the back half of that question, which was like, when did it develop into social media? But I also want to piggyback on that and say, why do you create the content that you do on social media? So when did it go into that, and why do you do it now?
When and why? When and why? Okay, so when did I start? I honestly just started a TikTok, I want to say the beginning of last year. And I did it kind of just as a way to get to know more gamers, because I know there are like Facebook groups that you can join. Like I have like a women gamers Facebook pages I follow, and you go on there and you're like, who's on? If it's anybody on, so I can play with some people. Or you get tired of playing with the boys, so you want to find some girls to play
The
with.
Mylan boys.
Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? I want to actually like see if there's like another avenue to reach out to people, but not just, other women, but also I can play with more guys, I guess. And so I went on TikTok and I just made a video, and I was like, hey, this is kind of enjoyable, like just to kind of see how you can relate to other people through your gameplay. And that's kind of where it started and why it started.
Okay, cool. Well,
So,
I actually want to ask you this now because we're on that topic.
I kind of got a
Go ahead.
question on that. So you kind of, I mean, you've got a ton of followers. We're just starting trying to get our followers going with the podcast and our TikTok and all of our social medias. But what I want to know is, with your content creation in TikTok so far, what does it do for you? Like, what do you get from it when you get like all those views or likes, or what motivates you to keep creating and keep putting out more posts?
What motivates me? Let's see. Honestly, the likes. I'm just kidding. No.
Oh my
but
God.
so it's definitely like it's it's very time consuming, right? And it does take a lot of work, even if you're only doing short clips. I'm not even like fully streaming 100% yet. So it takes a lot of work. So when you ask like what motivates you to do it, it's like, God, you have to have a real motivation to do it because it can be exhausting, especially like I do it by myself. So like I'm doing
Right.
all my own clips, I'm doing all my own streams, I'm doing all my own editing, and like I didn't know how to do any of that stuff, so I'm kind of just going. But I specifically am motivated by the people that follow me, and that's because if I didn't really have followers, I would kind of just be on TikTok by myself, just putting out videos, and nobody's really caring that it's there.
Yeah.
But I think I'm nearing like I know I have 1,700 so far, which it's like it doesn't compare to some people, but it's like God over the last year to build that many people. That's 1,000 people. That's a lot of people. Um,
It
and
is.
and so I've been getting like true real connections with other gamers. I've played with some of the followers. I've like gone on TikTok and I've live streamed as I'm playing, just saying like, "Hey, who has free time right now? Like, come play with me." And I've played like Warzone with them. I played um, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but it's also branched out into more of a friendship type thing where I'm building true friendships with a bunch of strange random people I've never met before, but they're awesome in their own way, and so it's kind of and it's I'm starting to build um, like what do you call it? Like consistent followers, as in these people they're liking all my videos, they're commenting on my videos, and I'm starting to recognize like, oh, I know you, I know you, I know you. Like when they come back to my next video, I know who they are. It's not like, oh, it's just another random
Yeah.
follower or viewer. It's like, oh, they come back and they're like, hey, how are you doing through my video? So it's like I'm consistently seeing that they're sticking around versus they kind of get over me after, like a couple clips, they don't come back. But I think that's what it is. Like they motivate me to keep going.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That kind of hit a few of our questions that we had
Dang,
lined
I'm
up.
good.
So yeah, you're tackling it naturally. That's good. Is I guess I'll give you a chance here since we're kind of on this topic already. Is there any like specific friendships that you've created that you want to talk about at all? You don't have to be like super detailed or anything, but
So there's actually 3 friendships that I cleared with them before I mentioned their their gamer IDs. But I just wanted to obviously be respectful. But so 2 people I've met through Facebook. So this is kind of my like little like shout out to them. It was on one of those women gamer Facebook pages where I kind of went on it and was like, I'm looking at the post to see if I can meet somebody, and someone posted on there, I'm looking for someone to game with, and that is where I met Morbid Goddess. And you guys have heard of her before. I think Sam's played with her probably the most with me.
oh yeah, we've won a Warzone game.
Yeah,
a
we
hell
won
of a
Warzone
gamer tag.
game. Morbid Goddess, yes.
That is.
So she is like one of the like greatest friendships I have made since I've started playing because started playing with her because she's like we literally talk every single day, like every single day, and so it's like that's not just like a follower watching me. That's us actually building a friendship. And she also has a TikTok, so like if you don't follow her already or you don't know who she is, you can literally get through her through my TikTok because we have each other in clips. And so she's amazing. I love her because she's so protective of me. It's like I'm the nice one in the group, and so she just goes after every single male who comes after me. And
So before I forget, now that you've said that she's kind of the protector, I actually wanted to ask you this, and then we'll go back to the rest of your other couple of friends you want to mention. Real quick, what kind of is it like in general to be a female gamer on the online community?
so, I mean, just piggyback off of that, I can answer 2 questions at one time. Through Morbid Goddess, I met Persephone, and Persephone was her best friend from a long time ago. And so I met the two of them, and they are both Puerto Rican women who are just firecrackers, right? So it's like nobody's going to tell me anything. And I feel like I have that to a certain extent, but it has to be brought out. Like, I'm usually like too chill and like relaxed. But then if you hit me the wrong way, then it's like, okay, now I'm ready. But normally I feel like I'm pretty cool. I'm just chill. I don't like to, I don't like to
Pretty mellow.
I don't like conflict.
I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
I don't like conflict. That's what it really is.
That's
That
not
just-
me.
And so
That reminds me, you're like, what is that? What is the movie with all the feelings? For anybody who doesn't know,
Inside
Out, the movie with all the feelings. The perfect description of Sabrina is sadness in that movie.
I'm not sadness. Sam's wife says I'm joy.
She's a combination. She's a combination of sadness and
down,
joy.
Okay, I'm like between the two. Some days I'm morph into both.
I think that it's just because the character Sadness has those glasses that kind of look like yours. I think that's the
You
main
Just like
thing.
look-
Tina Belcher.
You look like
from
me.
Burgers.
You-
Ed
You do look a
May
little like
from
me.
Overwatch.
You have a lot of visual.
It's the
Tina.
glasses. I would just have to change them.
It's the
Yeah.
glasses. That's all it
I
is.
have to change them. So with those two, right, I game with them a lot, and that's three females, right? We instantly enter a lobby,
Yeah.
and you never know what you're gonna get when you enter
Estrogen
the
is
lobby.
strong.
Especially in Call of Duty, right?
Yeah, no
once
kidding.
we enter
Oh,
the
man.
lobby, once we speak, there's so many different reactions that will come just from our voices coming out of our headsets. And some of the stuff that happens is like, "Ooh, a girl's playing. Are you hot?" Like, there's some kind of
Oh,
like
God.
some attractive tension going on with some of these males where it's just like, bam, I'm going to go after you. And they've literally, there are people that just, they message us. They ask us for our like Snapchats. They ask us for our like Facebooks. They ask us for our numbers. And even if you're
That's
like,
creepy.
I'm like, dude, I'm married.
That is.
So I'll say like, I'm married. I'm taken. And they're like, that don't matter. That don't matter. And that's what I picture their faces as. That don't matter. And so it's like they keep trying to push it, right? And it's like, I've already said I'm taken, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. That's it. And so sometimes that's where we do have to report and block a lot of people because it's just sometimes they don't give up, right? And that's one of the responses. But some of the stuff is, it gets pretty like violent in there when it comes to like vulgarity, where these people just like come at us. Like once we speak, instantly all kinds of nasty names are thrown out towards us. I know the get back in the kitchen is a very popular one for most guys to kind of like attack women with that. And I love watching TikTok videos of like girls who actually like post their smart responses back, because I think a lot of women can defend themselves, but it's like we don't need to go on a game that we're trying to have fun on and defend ourselves every single time we play. It's like we're just there to have fun, just the same that like ways that guys are there to have fun. And so that's been since we started, like since I started gaming, that's been a thing. So it's kind of, it seems like it's a never ending thing too. Like it's going to just keep happening. But there are people on Call of Duty specifically, because that's what I play the most, that get very intense with it though. Like, I mean, they're talking like suicide, they're talking like sexual assault, they're talking like violent abuse. So it's like there's so much negativity in gaming when you're a female, and it kind of like you have to ask yourself when you are a female and you go through that, why do I keep gaming? Because it's kind of like I should just go play Fallout where I'm alone by myself.
right.
I can.
Which is so counteractive to what most people game for. It's like the
Yeah.
community building.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that with social media, while people say there's so many negatives with it, it's kind of led you to having a community and real friendships. So I think that's cool to see that side of the story as well.
Yes, I agree. I sure do.
I think
So
that's
do you
something
guys
that.
want me to?
Well, I think
Oh, go ahead.
it's kind of like what you're saying right now is it's kind of something we've talked about before. Just kind of the toxicity in gaming, the gaming community. It can be really bad, and then it just seems like it's just exponentially
it's times 10 with
amplified,
exponentially worse if you're a female gaming. Which, man, that sucks. Like, just trying to have some fun and talk to people, and then guys are just coming out to do stupid stuff.
Hey, but that on that topic, when you said guys, it's not just guys though. That's
No
what I
kidding.
find crazy is there are women that will just come at you, and if they're around the guys that talk to us that way, they're just like their little hype man. Like it's like a couple of like, I want to say pit bulls, but they're really not that cool or cute. Like it's like the guys are pit bulls, right? And they have these like female chihuahuas like hanging around them, just kind of like constantly barking as the guys are like kind of coming at us. And so that's kind of what I see it as. But it starts to make me think like, why do you talk to other women like that, or hang around men that are okay talking to women like that? Because it's like, what will stop them from talking to you like that? Like,
or,
what?
I mean,
what?
I
At what
imagine
point in time? Yeah, what point in time is like that friendship going to kind of go through the ringer because he says the wrong thing or you say the wrong thing, and then I don't understand it. I can't play with men like that, and I don't play with men like that or boys like that.
Yeah,
that's
women like that.
Well, on that note, like we have, so that you got your two friends who protect you, which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
When you guys go into those like lobbies, and
I don't even get to say anything. They just like, somebody will say something and they'll say Bean, and once they hear my name, they're just like bam, they just go off. And so I'm just like, I'm so grateful that I found them, because sometimes I think I do need that. I don't have that assertiveness,
that tenacity.
Yeah, I like to avoid conflict, in all honesty, because it causes a lot of stress. And so when they just go off on them, I'm like, wow, thank you guys. I don't have to do anything. Nice. Like, I don't even have to feel sad or upset or anything, because they took care of it already.
Did you have a third person you wanted to shout out?
Yes, I did. And so this is actually one of my male friends, and he's probably been with me almost the entirety of my TikTok time, because I met him through TikTok. So this one is Nice to See I'm Dead, and I clarified with him if it was okay that I mentioned his name, and he's good.
Hell of a gamer tag.
I know. The crazy thing is that every time we play, when people read his name really quick, they see it as Nice Toes, not Nice to See I'm Dead. And so they'll be like, Nice Toes, I'm dead, or something like that. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
So I usually just call him Nice. That's what I call him every single time we play. That's what I like. I now have his like phone number and his we talk a lot on TikTok, but he was one of my like first followers, and he was one that was very consistent with watching the clips, liking them, commenting on them, kind of like commenting like how he relates to what I'm posting, or like what I should try to do whenever I'm playing the game. He's very, very like interactive with me through TikTok, and he's like the complete opposite of those like terrible guys on like video games. He's very like quiet and down to earth, and when I met him, he's married and has a child, actually has multiple kids, and he's completely like family oriented, right? So he's never tried to like make a move or been inappropriate with me, and that's what I enjoy so much about our friendship. It's like I can actually have a guy friend and he's not hitting on me or being disrespectful. It's like it's all gaming talk, and sometimes like our friendship has come to the point where we've built like, I'm gonna tell you about my family and you're gonna tell me about yours, and we'll talk like real world stuff. But it's like when we play that game, he's never like talking down to me. He's never like being a jerk to me. He's just like laughing because I'll team kill or something like that. And so he's just like a nice dude. That's what his name should be, Nice Dude. instead of nice to see you, I'm dead. But
If I ever play with him, I'm calling him Toes. Just
you
so
can.
You know.
I mean,
What up,
Steven
Toes?
calls him
Just Toes.
Steven, my husband. He calls him nice toes. He's like, hey, nice toes. And it's so crazy though because he's very quiet on the headset, right? He doesn't really talk during the game, and so a lot of people, whenever I play with him, they're kind of like, this is the guy that's like your friend because he doesn't even speak. Like, how do you even know him? But when we talk through like messages and stuff, he's very like, he makes a lot of conversation. But I learned it's because he doesn't really play Modern Warfare Search and Destroy and things like that like I do. He plays Warzone, and when he gets in Warzone, the communication is on, and he is like a live wire. He's like literally going after teams by himself. He's that player that's like, I'm going to go kill the whole team. I don't care what you're doing.
Oh,
Good
Paul.
luck in there.
That's a Paul.
Yeah, he's
Sounds like
basically
me.
like
He sucks.
Paul. So I would like to see how they would do in like a Warzone type game where it's just like they're so individually good that they
They're
can
just,
just go take out a team.
Different
alone.
parts of the map.
Yeah, I believe
I mean, I'm
he's
down.
literally. I know that there's like one specific memory that I have that's like in my brain is that like he's on the roof, right? And these guys start coming into our building, and we're trying to shoot them while we're inside, but he's on the roof, and he takes out two of their players that are outside, and then he jumps off the roof onto the bridge, enters the building, and kills them from behind. And I'm just like, where do you even, like, how do you even do all of that? I'm over here, like, trying to reload and, like, not die, and I'm, like, stressing
You're like,
out, and he's like,
guys, I got this staircase.
he's like, team wipe. He's like, team wipe. And then it's just like, like, what? Like, how did that even happen? Where did it come
I
from?
wiped-
But,
When did that happen?
I wiped that team like I wiped my ass.
oh my God.
I use wet wipes.
No, but he's
Oh, God.
he's definitely like one of the biggest motivators where it's like there's potential to make more friendships like that are so real and like genuine, and it doesn't just happen in games, but it carries on to like, let's talk about like our life, like, man, work sucks or whatever kind of is going on in our real lives. We've hit that point in our friendship. It's like that with Persephone, with Morbid Goddess, and with Nice to See I'm Dead. There is also so many others that I've met who I also have a relationship and a bond with. I could like name a ton, but those are like the three that I have spent the most time talking to over the last like year, basically.
So it sounds like you do it for the community. You do the content creation.
Yeah.
You do the gaming because it's a positive influence for you. It gives
For
you
sure.
that, positive feedback when you play with them, and then when you're making these friends, when you're making that content. It all sounds very positive and very good. But so I kind of want to transition into something along those lines. So what do you think has actually worked for you? Like you said, you've been doing this all on your own. So when you started making videos, started making clips, what did you see as you got further along that was making them more successful? As far as viewers, likes, comments, that way anybody listening, they can kind of, take that in as one of their tools.
So I feel like you're always your own worst critic, right? So like, even though I have 1,700 plus followers, I'm always like, God, there are people out there that have like 100,000 followers, and I'm like, how do they get there? But what it really does boil down to, what I have learned that is successful, is consistently putting out clips and videos. So it's like, if you were to make a video like every single day of the week, you would get way more followers and views than if you were to just be like, I'm going to post a video once a week. And that's just simply because as you keep pushing stuff out, it kind of like, when they go check out the people they follow, basically, when they check out their videos, because there are people that actually keep up, with everybody's, when they have a specific person they follow their life, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's, I don't really share much about my life. I've tried to now, but I've noticed that a lot of people really respond to humor. There's a lot of humor in gaming. I think you guys know that specifically, especially when you watch DV Macho's clips. There's a lot of humor, especially when you're glue guy, as you guys call him. When you're a glue guy, there's a lot of humor in the videos. So it's like I've noticed that the majority of the clips that I've posted that are for a comedic purpose have gotten a lot of attention, and I think that's because a lot of people can relate to those types of videos. I know there was one video where I literally just put when they keep going the same route, and it's just me. I run to a window seal and I just mount with my pistol and I just point it at the door. And then they burst through the door full speed and they die by me because they just did that like 4 times previously. And I feel like we've all had that when we play Search and Destroy specifically, where it's like they just keep going this side, they just keep going this way.
Do the
it's
same
like,
thing, and then they call you a camper,
a hacker,
Camper.
a camper.
It's like you
cheating.
keep doing the same thing
and it's
every
like
time.
you're very predictable, and when you're playing like a Search and Destroy, you have to have
Right.
some strategy in that kind of game.
Yeah.
But that's also something with it too is like there is that comedic side of it, but it's like having people relate to you through those comedic videos. Like, oh man, one time, like I've had people say like, oh, one time this happened to me, and they like describe like how they died by a claymore or how they died by a grenade or like these mind-blowing ways that they die in the games, or how they get like these kills that are just hilarious. And so I know that one of the biggest things people enjoy with gaming is comedy. I know there are a lot of people who try to just like spit out like can I curse on here? I'm like a a badass kind of clip, right? It's like when you
those don't do as well. I tried to post like a quadra kill from Smite I had. It's got like 20 views.
and that's what I was saying is that you kind of, I think it's good. It's not that people don't think that you're good. It's kind of just like
they don't care.
They like to see the human side.
No, like I want to, like, if you think about it, the majority of people are probably not like extremely great at games as far as like I could win a competitive competition and win like $100,000. Like those are very specific people who dedicate their time and livelihood to gaming, and I feel like the majority of people can relate to that comedic side and dying crazy or getting crazy kills or just something crazy happening, like flying your plane into a tree and then kind of giving up on it afterwards. Like, those kinds of things.
You say that, right? And that's kind of been at least on TikTok has been our most, I guess, watched videos has just been the kind of the comedic ones, and they've been really fun to make too. But there is something to be said, right? When you know that when you're watching something, you're like, oh my God, this guy is like hilarious. I can't believe he just did that. Like they're not that much better than me, or they're not better than me. Like, and this is like, it's more relatable, I guess, than as opposed to seeing somebody just post like, destroying people every single video. And you're just like, man, what about those times where you got like wrecked, So that's cool to hear, that's kind of what you've seen, like in your time. But so kind of with that being said, like, so you've seen some things that have worked for you and that is working for you. Like, what is your goals like moving forward? Do you want to be like a more streaming oriented? Do you want to get more into the streaming? And then what other questions do you have as far as like what you could learn to make you, I guess, grow your platform?
So for me, I think, we were kind of talking about this like 2 days ago, you and me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying like, you always have that like fear of kind of pursuing something that to most people is kind of risky. I think if you look at a lot of like businessmen and entrepreneurs, if you were like, oh, I'm going to pursue like gaming as a career, they'd be like, good luck, pal.
Yeah.
Like, That's not going to happen. Like, you can't play games for
Yeah.
a job. But then you actually see it. Like, you see people actually accomplish that stuff. And I think I'm in a point where I need to kind of refocus myself into um, being more, I think, involved with the community that I'm building. And as to say, like, I post a lot of clips. I do post, I mean, I know you guys have gone through my channel and I have like tons of videos. Like, my first ever video is from like Call of Duty 4, I think. Um, and so I have a lot of clips, and I have like 3 videos on YouTube. And so it's kind of like I'm slowly progressing into putting out more stuff, which is good. But I know that the big the big streamers that are out there, I see that them being physically seen and physically interacting with their followers is kind of what helps them grow. And I think that's kind of where my um, I don't want to say my like it's kind of like a bump in the road, basically. It's not
Hmm.
halting my following because I'm still growing. I would probably grow quicker if I was more involved. And I say that because when I actually went live on TikTok a few times, I got like followers. People would just follow me off of me being live. And so it's like when you take that time to be like, hey, I'm on TikTok, I'm on live, who's going to come play with me? It's like it shows that you're like a person that wants to connect, and I think that's kind of where I need to push myself a little more as far
Hmm.
as connecting with
Yeah.
them. So I need to stream more. I need to um, pay attention when I do go on live because sometimes I I forget that there are people actively saying hi or whatever, and so I get so invested in the game that I'm like, oh crap, I gotta look down and like just like check really quick, and that's where like PC gaming like really
Yeah,
comes
it's
in
just kind
handy
of a little bit
because
easier,
you
huh?
have it like all in front of you, and with like Xbox it's like, oh, I gotta set up like a whole like station basically for
You're like, my
myself.
camera's here, my game is
Yeah,
here,
it's like I gotta have like my phone
my
here,
cat
my
holding up my
laptop,
phone
like
here.
yeah, it's like a big setup that you have to do, and so I know that that's definitely what I'm gonna be trying to do. I'm discussing it with my husband as far as what day I can stream every week, to kind of like continuously be like, hey, come see me like Friday night or come see me Saturday night or whenever I can do it, likely on the weekend because I am a parent. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to pursue more connection with my followers. Basically, I do. I comment back to every single person basically that comments on my videos, and I used to try to thank every single follower, but that was getting kind of like, whew, it's a
Yeah.
lot of work, especially when there's like random times where they will just you just get followers like crazy, and that is where it's like, oh man, to kind of try and thank every single one of them, it's like, whew. So that's why I think that's why people do like, oh, thank you for 1,000 or thank you for like 1,000,000 because it's like
Yeah.
that bulk. Thank you, everybody.
I think,
um,
guys, I think we
Yeah.
should probably, when we hit that 30 mark, get a little thank you video. Hey, thank you for the 30. You guys
Yeah, I
ready?
think we probably should.
I
Kinda
like
huge.
to be honest though, like those people, they're actively watching you, so you should like thank them when you hit
Yeah.
that. And I always felt silly too, and I was like, thank you for like 100. I never thought I would get even one follower. Like every follower I have is I thought was gonna be like my family, and that's it. And so I think that's important too, is to kind of acknowledge like that you're thankful that they are following and listening and
Yep.
commenting. Um, as far as questions I have, I think for me it is one of the biggest questions is the best way to kind of create a setup basically when you're an Xbox streamer, right? Because a lot of people do stream on PC. And I mean, I know
Yeah.
DV Socks himself knows how smooth it can be when
Yeah,
you're
it's
live
definitely
streaming
a
on a
lot
PC.
easier
And
on PC.
I'm not against like playing PC eventually in the future, but I'm very like fine with my Xbox, and I'm kind of like headstrong when it comes to leaving that system. So
Yeah.
um I I'm not really prepared to leave. So it's like, what kind of setup can people that play PlayStation or play Xbox, like console players, what can they have in order to make it like the most streamlined and like not kind of crazy? Because right now it's like I have to have my laptop, and I mean some of it I know is going to have to be that way because like
Right.
in order for me to communicate with Twitch followers and TikTok followers, if I do stream both ways, I have to have my laptop out and I have to have both of those
Yeah.
open so that I can physically see. Um, but there's things like I've discussed with you guys with like the capture card. As far as with Twitch, it's like when you're on PC, it's capturing all the voices of the gamers.
Mhm.
And when you're on Xbox, you can only capture other people's audio if you're in a party chat. And so if I'm playing like an online game, I'm not allowed to capture anybody's voice in a live lobby or a public game. It's just my voice.
And that's a huge part.
And that's a
of
huge
streaming,
part
too.
because you can't really like you can hear me talking the entire time in my streams, but you can't hear, what people are saying back to me, and that kind of it shows that it's that comedic aspect sometimes, but it's
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
that strategy aspect. It's also that rage aspect. Like you can't really get the full viewpoint if you can't hear everybody else's voice. You only hear my voice, and so that's good if you're playing a solo game like when I'm playing Subnautica and sending Junior snaps. It's like I'm the only one that needs to talk in that kind of game.
That game looks like every video you sent me, I'm like, I don't even know what's going on in this game.
I'm
Alien
honestly
world.
like, it's been out for a while, and to be honest, I don't know how I've never even noticed it. It's been around, but it's like mind blowing every single time I play. And like, it's crazy because I joined the Navy, right? But I hate the ocean. Like, there's things living in there. Like, I don't like lakes. I don't like rivers. Like, there are things living in there that I'd rather not know about. And so this game is literally trying to survive, and you're in the middle of the ocean. And I'm like, I have to get in the water to get resources. And so like that kind of thing, it's like if I stream, I can stream myself playing that kind of game, and I'll be fine, talking by myself, because it's like you're probably just going to see me freak
Yeah.
out every single time something comes at my direction. But
Yeah.
when it's like I would like to know a better layout as far as doing that as a console player versus a PC player who kind of has a smoother setup.
Yeah.
And then I think
So I've
go ahead,
I've
because
had
you are one.
So before I went full PC, when I first built my PC, I still had my Xbox set up because I was playing some game that I only had on Xbox. I think it was like Borderlands or something. And I wanted to stream it because I thought it'd be pretty cool, pretty interesting. So I had my PC still set up, but I could connect my Xbox to my computer through a capture card, which essentially makes you have the same streaming possibilities as a PC. So that's the main thing, is having like a video capture card, which you can plug in like directly from your console to even a laptop, or and it doesn't really have to be like anything crazy. So that's kind of like the main separation. It's just it's literally I actually have one in my my PC. I don't use it. It's literally just like a little small block.
Wow. So how much do
So-
you think somebody like Bean could buy that
So
off of
you-
you
I
I mean,
for?
honestly, I actually have one and
You
I don't really use it.
You just
so
pulled out this amazing
So
information and tools.
So
well, I was waiting for the interview, right?
I
so
was waiting for the interview. How
We've-
dare you?
we've only been talking about this
Yeah, no.
for a couple months now, and there's just this
Yeah, no,
capture
it's,
card just sitting
it's-
around.
Just gathering
I mean,
dust
it's
when I could be
it is
gathering followers.
installed on my PC right there. I could take it out, but it
Gathering
Yeah, I know I
dust
have
so
one and I
could be
don't use
gathering
it,
Followers.
but,
That's hilarious.
yeah.
You see?
Capture card. It'll change your streaming life.
God.
Okay, well there you go.
Well, since it's just gathering dust, when am I gonna?
It is a little
When am I
dusty.
gonna get it? When is it mine? Sam,
Um,
don't start with the faces because I'll do them too.
Okay. Okay.
Yikes.
Okay.
I wanted to get into something about games, and like what you're enjoying the most right now, because I feel like right now it's kind of like a weird gaming time, because like Fortnite took over for a while, and then it was like Warzone. Everybody's playing Warzone, and now I feel like we've been kind of like in a little limbo. And your gaming style is a lot different than like say mine or Sam's or Junior's. You kind of like really like the Call of Duty based and like search and destroy, and then you also really like Fallout, like single player based like RPG type games.
Yeah.
So like in this kind of like limbo where there's not really like a dominant game, like how are you feeling about gaming right now? Are you still like enjoying it as much? Are you like enjoying the experimenting aspect?
I see what you're saying. So that capture card though, I'm just kidding. So I get what you're saying completely, because it's not only like how you said like Fortnite was super huge, then Warzone was super huge, and it's like I've been on like Modern Warfare multiplayer for like that entire time. So I didn't
Yeah.
really join
Yeah.
the Fortnite bandwagon. I didn't really join the Warzone bandwagon. I've been like a consistent, like dedicated
Pounding out
Modern Warfare multiplayer player, and it's like strictly search and destroy, right? But as I said, like when I met Nice to See I'm Dead, it became more of like, well, as people are kind of like leaving and going to Warzone and kind of going to Cold War and then going to Vanguard, like how do I get the most out of this game? Because it's kind of like it does get repetitive, just playing the same game, search and destroy, every single time. And so that's kind of an interesting point when it comes to followers, because my friend Nice to See I'm Dead, he was like working on getting all of his guns like Damascus and all of that stuff. And for some people it's like, oh, they already done and did that, and that's why they're like at Cold War or something else. But that's like that's not something I ever really pursued. I just played the game to have fun. But he kind of gave it another aspect where it was like we started trying to race each other to like get all the skins for like these guns, like the gold and the Damascus and the obsidian, and he's way ahead of me. Like he's got so many more done than me. He's very good at getting it done. But for me, I think it's more of like not just sticking with the same game, but it's finding different ways to enjoy the game. So I know with like Overwatch, we've been playing that a lot more because Call of Duty multiplayer for Modern Warfare has been ridiculously bad. So has Warzone.
What's going on?
They are having so many like issues. Like I've just put in like 3 tickets in the last like month because my game
I think a lot of it's
is
like
messed up.
The integration of the 3 Call of Duties, Modern Warfare,
I mean,
Cold
all
War,
4
and
of
Vanguard.
them. Like they're all like.
Is there 4?
It's Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare.
They're all in
and
one
it's
game.
like when you go to the menu, it's all 4 of the games. You get to pick all of them, and I think that they're trying to make it cohesive, as it's like, oh, I could just choose which game I want to play instead of go to each
and it's
individual
like if they put out
game.
a big update on one, it like starts causing another one to crash.
That's what it is. It's that like I don't play Warzone, so when they have an update, why am I on Modern Warfare having problems when I'm not playing Warzone?
Yeah,
and so
I feel like Modern Warfare is now like the kind of like the black sheep of the family, where it's like it's the old game.
Yeah, they're kind of trying to, I feel like, phase us out of it. And I'm like, I am going to stay here forever. So you better fix it because I'm not leaving.
I will put these tickets in.
I will.
You will.
I will write a strongly worded letter to you. But so, like, I literally have, though. I've sent in tickets and I've been like, you guys, you're stressing me out here. Like, this is my favorite game. And I join a lobby and it freezes. Game freezes completely. Or it completely kicks me out and sends me back to home. Or my screen goes black and then my Xbox turns off. Like, that's the severity of it. And so,
just completely crashes.
Or like I'm playing a game and my guns, they're not in my hands. They're invisible. They're not there. I can shoot, but they're not there.
That's my favorite.
And you can't like aim, like, because when you aim in, all it does is just zoom your screen in. But there's like, you can't tell where you're pointing.
You just die by invisible bullets.
Yeah, basically. And so, like, bullets are flying out, but there's nothing there. And it's like, I can't play like this. But, like, getting back to the Overwatch thing, it's kind of like, I think I've been trying to game more with people to kind of like make more fun out of it versus playing so much solo time.
Yeah.
Because I think that's when you have the most fun, when you interact with people, and that's why, like, playing with like the DV squad, it gets really like heated sometimes, but it's also really funny. But then we also have those like moments where it's like we made such an amazing team that game, like we just annihilated, and I think that all of those different phases are equally fun. Like watching Kyle rage is hilarious,
I
and
love it.
Kyle was raging pretty good earlier
yeah,
today
and
on Overwatch.
then watching like watching us like be a cohesive team and just like destroy other teams. It's like, yes, we did it. Like it's
After getting completely ran.
it's
through the
also
game before.
fun
Yeah.
to see like to kind of like game and learn each other's strengths, like how you guys talked about in your last podcast. You talked about how every one of you games kind of in a different style, where Paul's like solo and Junior's like glue guy and Sam's like the blueprint, right? And I feel like that is what kind of makes gaming fun. It's not just I'm going to play by myself, because playing by yourself is great when you want to just de-stress and like just play a game you haven't played yet and you just want to have a little fun alone. And
I've been
that's
enjoying
fine.
The Witcher lately, honestly. But
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been playing The Witcher, I've been playing Subnautica, and
Man,
so
I've been grinding
Smite.
the lawnmower simulator.
The Lawnmower Simulator.
if you have not
Yeah.
seen our Instagram, go check out our Instagram.
Is there a
Lawnmower
story to the
Simulator.
game? Like,
I think I'm gonna stream
what's,
it.
What's the?
I think
What's the
this
grabber?
is just Sam's like dad bod and old man
That's
vibe.
literally what I
My
could. I could
company's
see Sam
name.
sitting on the couch with like his belly out.
So you got to
like, belly
create a
button
company
hanging
name
out.
and everything, and our company logo. My company's name is Dad Mowing,
Oh my god, you see, I
and
told you.
it's a big leaf that's the shape of a D.
See, everybody
Oh my
needs to learn
God.
that about Sam, is that he's that like dad bod, like old man
Oh.
vibes.
Old man vibes.
Old man vibes that like get off
Dad
my
bod.
lawn kind of.
This dad bod is dropping hard over here. Dad bods. Sam is that dad bod. Well,
Oh my god.
that's hilarious. But I
So
think
yeah, so I think that's where it's like while I'm in this limbo, I'm really focusing on gaming with people,
Community.
and friends, and so like we just the other day, I asked you guys if we could add in my follower from TikTok, and he came in and he was
Yeah.
a pretty clutch Lucio on Overwatch. He got like 10,000.
He had a couple
And
really
then
great
he got
like,
the
Reaper
like
He had a
games.
couple
he got
good,
the best
clips,
play
yeah.
with Lucio. Like who even does that? Like
Yeah,
how do you even?
I've
Yeah,
done,
not Sam.
I've done that a few times. I'm just saying. Anyways, I think.
Oh my god.
Is there anything else you guys want to add? Questions you have?
no, I don't think so. I think
I think I'm good.
I think we're at a good.
You guys are like, I think she talks too much. She answered everything.
That was awesome. I thought it was really good
Could
and
have answered
insightful
everything
too.
in one.
Well, I know we had this as a last question, which you hit some of these, but any like fans or family you want to just give a shout out while you're on the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I could give a shout out to my three friends that I mentioned, which is Morbid Goddess and Persephone and Nice to See I'm Dead, and Mario, if you're listening to this, you too, is another follower I have, and friend that I now game with. Silent Bear, that's the one who played Lucio.
Yeah.
These are all like the people that actually play with me. Stanny Boy, if you hear this, he's also somebody that constantly comments on my videos and makes fun of me whenever I make like ridiculous classes. He's like, really mean again. And I'm like, yeah, again, I'm doing it again. And so there are so many. There really are so many that I wish that I could like shout out every single follower, but we don't have time for.
Where can the new listeners be your new followers?
What do you mean?
What's your social medias? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you asked that.
I'm sorry I made that so confusing. But
I was like,
where can
drop
where can
drop
new
them
people
socials.
find your content?
So, as I stated in the beginning, I have TikTok. That's going to be dvbean.bina. I think it's important for people to know that you guys not only call me Bean, but you call me Bina, because everybody's always like, what is .bina? What does that mean? And that's a family nickname. So dvbean.bina, which is BINA. That is my TikTok. I have Instagram, which is dvbeangamermom, all one word. And then I've got Facebook, where it's just dv space bean. That's my profile name. So come add me. Oh, I also have YouTube. DV Bean Gamer Mom on YouTube. I only have 3 videos, but
Let's go.
come watch me on Minecraft with my friends learning for the first time. And guys, it was so
That's fun.
bad. It was so bad.
Oh, that's
so
hilarious. Well, I think on that note, we'll wrap this up. And it's been fun. Hopefully they enjoy, our listeners and your listeners enjoy this interview. And on that note, we'll see you guys next time.
Woo!
Deuces.